15 ways virtual reality will shape the world. And this will be part 1 of, I assume, part 3. I think we're going to go through about 3 parts. So basically,
Okay.
I ask a question, and then we go around the virtual table, and you have the opportunity to speak or pass. You can pass, and then we can move to the next person. I want to ask the question again, and that is, what is virtual reality? Kristen, all yours.
Okay, so virtual reality to me is sort of like its own little community within this headset. You know, it could be really anything. It could be games, it could be discussions, it could be, events about just about every single possible thing. It could be school. It just could be so much. It's just a different type of reality, really,
All right,
in
awesome.
my opinion.
Yeah, no, that's good. Let's go to Zendas 12. No?
Um,
Okay, hi.
yeah. Can you hear me?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I think virtual reality is subjective. There's a lot of things that fall into that category. In the essence that we're speaking of, that how we're kind of gathered here. Um, I think virtual reality is somewhat like a hologram where we sort of manifest whatever we wanted. I mean, you guys manifested this uh, using the tools that Allspace provided, obviously. Um, I mean, we first started with virtual reality. I think it was called like a stereoscope or something back in the 70s. But the uses that entailed were very limited, as to where now it's sort of limitless. And I mean, I don't know. It's just such a subjective thing. It's hard to really put a definite definition there. To me, I guess I kind of look at virtual reality as a place where you can extend the physical reality to multiple aspects with communication, um, viewing, experience. Uh, I don't know. I mean, yeah, it's a very multifaceted thing, and I'm not doing very well explaining it at the moment, even though I thought that I would. But yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, the mixture of the real and the imaginative. Let's go to Bazit.
Thank you for that.
Thank you. Yes, that was excellent.
Hello there. So, yeah, I think a lot of VR users know the movie Ready Player One. So that's one scenario. We are not so far away from it. So not so dramatically, but like the part that like before the phone was a tool, and nowadays if you're looking into smartphones, it is a part of a human. So if you don't, like, a lot of people, if they don't have a smartphone, like they don't have a normal life, or like it's like a body part which is not there if you don't have it. And if you're looking to the future and how fast, or to the past and how fast technology developed, let's look into the VR bubble or XR bubble. Not only Oculus is building like goggles, also like Acer and HTC, but Apple and Google, we know that, are working on like AR lenses. So I think we can't talk about only VR. We can talk about the whole XR experience. And one day, my opinion is that will be like a body part of somebody. It is nowadays, we are now at that point where it's a tool to use it. Like we are doing it for business, for example. And but in the future, it will be a body part for everybody, for every human, because of cost reason. This is a cheap device. It's not only for gaming, like everybody thinking of, who doesn't had a VR device on the headset, on the head. So the cost part, it is cheap now, and I think it will be also get cheaper in the future. And the opportunities we have in VR are like very, very big. So now we are in all space, but there are also games. But we all know that also in the medical section, VR is used for years to look about like technologies, new technologies for the medical section, or to build up everything. in 3D, like modeling. So that's like my opinion. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you. No, I specifically chose VR because this is on my brains. We can do a lot of events, but when you're going into AR and XR and VR, we're talking about topics that will take days to discuss, and that's why we've broken it up. But AR is definitely on the cards, but I'd like to know specifically today, so we don't get sidetracked, and that is, what is VR? Jake, it is all up to you.
I see VR as computer-generated, persistent representation of physical reality. It is persistent because we all experience the same physical, virtual world where we can interact in a much more enhanced way than if we were talking on the phone. Like my partner here was saying, this is obviously the future, and like Mark Zuckerberg said, it's the next computing wave. So I see VR as more of a virtual computer-generated platform where we can meet, interact, create, learn, and a host of other things that we're still figuring out.
Excellent, thank you.
Right, VR to me is just I've discovered it for about 6 months now. So to me, it's fun, it's relaxation, it's a lifeline. What's else? Well, it's a whole new world. It's like stepping into TV land. That's what VR is to me.
Awesome, thank you, Spring. Yes, experiences are also good to explain what it is. Elmo, you are next. The question is simply, what do you believe is VR? This is a discussion event. It's called Oh My Brain, and we're just answering questions.
Great. Well, then I would say it because you asked.
Oh, thanks. I always find it funny that these days people call VR what we see in 3Ds, and that's what is VR. But I've been in VR for the last 25 years, even though it wasn't in 3D. But the day I decided to use a nickname and to hide myself behind an avatar or behind a game or IRC, ICQ, BBS back then, that was virtual reality. When I was playing games, when I was playing Halo, when I was playing Warcraft, I was behind virtual reality. I was pretending to be something into a different world, into something that was incredibly large scale possibilities. So VR for me, it's an experience that brings the people somewhere else. It's the way to leave my house in the comfort of my chair or the comfort of my sofa.
Without leaving, 100%. Awesome, thank you,
Right.
Elmo. That was great. Because there's a lot of people now in the room, what I'm going to have to do is toggle mute all, and I have I have provided the raise hand participation. So if those who've just popped into the world would like to share your thoughts, you can raise your hand, but it also depends on the time that we have, because we still got to go through a couple of ways on how VR is shaping the world. So I'm just going to go back to the topic for today. And then after we've addressed what VR is, we'll get started. That's the icebreaker of a couple of ways VR will shape the world. So let's go to Nicole, KB95. And my beautiful co-host Ali is obviously doing the moderation as always, providing the megaphones and making everything just more professional. So thank you, Ali.
You're welcome.
Nicole.
And
Hello.
on it.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello, how are you?
Good.
But well, virtual reality, I'm only new to it, to be fair, so it's all new to me.
All right. Well,
But,
then,
yeah,
well, now you'll hear from a whole bunch of people of what VR is in terms of their experiences and ideas. So yes, a very welcome to you and thank you for joining. Let's go to Queen Chief 82. A very warm welcome to you.
Hey everybody.
Hey.
Hi.
Nice to be here.
Nice to meet you
This is
too.
awesome. I'm a little outdone by this. This is my literally my first virtual round table.
I know how
so
that
this is amazing. I'm usually super shy in public. I don't like talking around people, but this is so awesome and fun. And I believe one of the ways that VR will shape the world, especially in the time of the pandemic going on right now, is that it's still like I'm here by myself at home, but I can kick it with at least 20, 30 people here. So that's amazing. And yeah, I just look forward to the progression of this technology because I'm loving it. And one last thing, as far as like exercise, I'm kind of in fit. I'm not out of shape, but I'm lazy and I don't get up and do much because of COVID now. And my nephew too, he likes to play the Xbox and stuff. But the VR is really helping me to be active and get on my feet and get some blood moving. So I think it's gonna shape the world in a lot of different ways.
Awesome, and thank you very much, Queen Chief. I know exactly how it feels like to be in your position on like the first day of interacting in a discussion event like this. Let me tell you, it's just like Pringles. So, next time when you pop up at this discussion, you're gonna feel even more alive and even more ready for these type of events. All right, let's go to Kubrick VR. Hello there.
Just give me 1 second, sorry.
Yeah, we got a lot of people to get through. So, to those who've just popped in and to people on Facebook, welcome to Oh My Brain. This is an event discussion on where we choose topics on science, philosophy, psychology, spirituality questions, and then we go around the table answering these questions. And today's topic is 15 ways the world will be shaped by VR. And I think this is going to be a part 1 of 4 in this case. Sessions, but it's going to be awesome and it's going to just, like make your mind explode of the possibilities that are involved. All right, are we ready? Ali, Kubrick VR, what is
ready.
VR?
Well, I know we're just starting to see how this technology is going to impact our society. I know that I think this is exciting because this is the first time a new communication medium has been created since for the last since radio or television. So I'm interested to see how this technology is adopted, and I'm hopeful that it's done so in a positive way. Like any tool, it can be used for the betterment of society, but it can also be used to make things worse. It just amplifies human communication. So
right.
I guess I could see from a technological point of view, I guess I could see this starting to mix in with our own reality, kind of like a mixed reality setup where there's like a metaverse that's on top of the real universe, on top of the real world that we exist in. I think this is probably only the beginning. I think we're going to see this start to, this technology change and start to mix more with augmented reality in a way. But I'm really hopeful that the right kind of people use this in the right kind of ways.
Awesome, thank you, Kubrick. And it also depends on the moderation and the development for example, Altspace. I mean, I have just seen positivity all around, and with the developments, I mean, these guys are IT ninjas on ways to, moderate the events, and then we have amazing people who are just so understanding, and I just think it's going in such a nice direction. Norway Dylan, hello there, and very welcome to you.
Hi, Timon. It's funny, we were discussing this a few days ago. I think the way it'll change things is especially education. Universities are too expensive in the United States, so it'll replace that. And then during the COVID period here in Europe, a lot of doctors closed their offices and they had what they call e-consultations. So I think that's the beginning. The only issue is that the price has to come down, because right now a Quest 2 headset is about $350 or 350 euros, but I think once it hits about $100 or 100 euros, I guess 1,000 rand, then people will start using it.
All right, thank you. Spoiler alert, medical. We are definitely going to cover that today. All right, let's go to Trigget. Trigget, the question is, what is VR?
Hi. Well, for me, VR is some sort of the next step in human evolution, and I think it will change the world in a very big way, and we cannot even comprehend what is there to come. And I think we are just scratching the surface in the moment. So I'm very curious what will happen in the next years here.
Oh, no, absolutely. Thank you. Let's go to Dr. Sam. Hello there.
Good evening, Timon and Ali and everybody in the room. Great question, great topic.
Good evening.
So for me, VR, we're not talking augmented reality or artificial intelligence, just straightforward virtual reality. For me, it's an immersive experience which creates an alternative reality where one projects their persona through an avatar. It is a platform for communication using a proxy, which, as I said to you before, is an avatar, which is less intimidating than face-to-face. So that's it for me, short and sweet. Thanks,
All right,
Timon.
awesome, thank you, and straight to the point. All right, let's go to Horst.
Yeah, hi. So I'm with Trigget, and I think that we really don't know what it's going to be. But I think for me personally, VR was always some kind of a toy. So like an effect thing that you put on and you are immersed, and it's just so great. And what I'm now seeing here in Altspace, which I haven't seen in other places like VR Chat, it's really about participating, and it's about expressing yourself and creating your own world, and that's just great. I think for me right now, this is VR, to meet people and to express yourself, basically.
Absolutely. VR is everything. Let's go to Anas.
Well, hi everybody.
Hi.
So to answer your
Hi,
question,
welcome.
to me, VR is a very niche entertainment technology that's in the current state need more investments. I mean, like, the potential is huge, obviously, but at the current time, it's still quite niche.
Right. Thank you, Anas. That's very true. It is underused. It's underrated. People are not taking advantage of it. 100%. Let's go to Toby Banneroo. But at least we don't have adverts yet. That's going to be popping up when it becomes popular. Toby Banneroo, hello.
Hello. Hello, can you all hear me right?
Yes.
Well, to me, VR is it is just a way to lose yourself in the worlds that all the games are made, and obviously you can use VR for medical stuff and presentations like this, but to me personally, I just use VR as just to get away from it all. I can play currently I'm playing a game Until You Fall, which is basically just a sword fighting game, and you just feel so amazing when you get all the combos and you slice down the enemies. To me, it's just forget the real world, because let's face it, the real world is just absolute trash at the moment with what's going on, and it's just a way to lose yourself. And I just can't wait to see how that'll expand with more games and just more ways to use it and other things.
Awesome. Thank you, Toby. Yes, it is an escapism. Ali, what is VR?
I'm going to go ahead and quote Google. So, virtual reality is a way to create a computer-generated environment that immerses the user into a virtual world. When we put on a VR headset, or when we experience VR, it takes us to a simulated setup, making us completely aloof from the actual surroundings. As well, it is a technology used to create immersive experiences that can help educate and even entertain consumers outside of its popular gaming use case as we may know it. It can be applied in a variety of industries, medicine, architecture, military, and many others, especially education, which I think is very, very important. And that's it from me.
All right. Well, that's the end of this series, and goodbye.
No. And what about yours?
What do you mean, what about mine? I mean, how do you top that? Thank you, Google. Okay. Okay, I like what Dr. Sam said, in that virtual reality is a communicative, a computer-generated environment. So let me start that again. Sorry. So what I think is virtual reality is a computer-generated environment where you're immersed in a virtual world, just as Dr. Sam said. And VR is an experience that blends out our reality and takes us into a computer-generated world, either through, wait for it, headsets, goggles, glasses, or even contact lenses. And I think that VR is about to disrupt the ways we live and work and invest. But, you know, the reason why I asked the question, what is VR, Ali, is because, you know, a lot of people like Dr. Sam and you and me, we also use Altspace on the computer. So are we in VR right now? That's the question.
Definitely.
So that's why I was saying that maybe the definition needs to change, because I'm still immersed with you guys. You guys are all over the world, and yet we are inside the Greek Taverna Lounge, or the Dilemma Lounge. And that's just amazing. Okay, so now we have to go to the next part. Very important. I know you guys are raising your hands, but we need to get started with the event. And just so you know, I have increased the event for another half an hour today. Yay! Okay.
Definitely needed.
Yeah, definitely needed. I mean, we've just spent half an hour talking about what VR is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through different ways we're going to shape VR. And the first way... Oh, let me just see if I can get a better quality than that, Ali. No, that's it. All right, you can see. So the first way is, how will VR shape the world in medical? And let's go around starting with Kristen.
There we go. So, I mean, medical, I ran into somebody yesterday who is from Canada, and they're teaching their medics medicine, actually pediatric medicine and dissection through virtual reality. I was completely and utterly fascinated that you could do that on virtual reality instead of having to do it like in real life with an actual animal. I just thought, what a great opportunity. There was like medical on my side. I see so many different things that where this can go. And I don't want to be too long because there are so many people, but that was just something worth mentioning in my eyes.
Awesome.
That they're already going that way. I wish we would all go that way.
Absolutely. And I think you made a good point that we should be quicker. So, you know, rather just tell us maybe 1 or 2 ways that you think medical will shape VR, and then let's go around and try and get so many new ideas. Mark, hello. You're next, believe it or not. You've joined the Dilemma Lounge, and basically we ask questions and then you answer them. So the question is, how will VR shape the world in medical? And you have the opportunity to speak or pass. Remember, you can pass with pleasure. Mark.
Yeah, can I pass? Thanks.
Yes, absolutely. Let's
Thank you so much.
go to Jake.
And ready.
I'm sorry. Okay, I think that VR is already changing the medical world in many ways, in the sense that surgeons can remotely perform operations using robotics on the other side of the world, using a VR headset because of the 3D capabilities. And this is as computing power increases and resolution and optics for the VR headsets, it's only going to get better, not just for operational situations, but also, of course, training and meeting with clients. Maybe there's a specialist on the other part of the world that has really good experience with a specific problem that someone has, and I don't know. It's really endless. You know,
Awesome.
I think it's really the future.
Thank
in
you,
that sense.
Jake. Great ideas. Let's go to Elmo.
Well, I will add up to Jake. Actually, that machine exists already, as you probably know. So surgeon can use that machine. And this year they actually did a really nice improvement. They gave feedback back to the surgery. So the surgeon is doing his operation, and now he can have feedback based on the resistance the robot is feeling while going into, and the surgeon can feel it, and he knows not to push too much or maybe avoid something. Or it's incredible. VR will change the world, because he can be like miles away from where he is operating, and because he's the best in the world, and it's so picky, he can do it. And now he can even feel what the robot is feeling, like miles away in real time. That's amazing. So that's it.
Thank you very much. Awesome. Kate.
Hi.
Kate, hello and welcome.
Hi, thank you very much. So, I think we are in medical situation will change many things, and I'm not on a medical sector, but I just got an injury like 6 months ago. So I was not able to move my left hand, and something happened with my nerves and something. But playing a bit with VR helped me growing a bit my muscles. Of course, there are things that I cannot do with my fingers or moving things, but still it helped me, and I was not able to do a lot of stuff. But just going around the world on VR helped me socialize with people, and little by little I becoming better. And now that I need to do more exercise, so I cannot do like these things that you go to the gym and do a lot of stuff. But now I can play a bit more and just moving and training until I get better. So I think it will help. And I believe I think it's Nintendo or Sony. They are giving some headsets and video games also for children to play on the hospitals. So that will help a lot, especially with social life.
Awesome. Thank you so much,
Thank you
Kate.
very much. JB.
JB.
We're having sound trouble. Just re-enter the room, and we'll get back to you. I can barely hear you. Sorry. Just try re-entering.
All right, let's go to Alyssa. We'll get right back to you, JB. It's just we couldn't hear your microphone, even when it was on megaphone. Let's go to Alyssa. Yeah, we got 3 pages to go through. Huh. Alyssa, let me help you there, Ali.
I think she'd like to pass. Yes.
All right. No, that's perfectly fine. We got a long event. All right, let's go to Queen Chief 82.
There we are.
Okay. Well, I was kind of looking around in the Engage app, and it was reminded me when I first heard this question, and in like the demo, he's showing you how that you can like pull up like a live strand of DNA and analyze each component of it, and it's like, how cool is it to like if a doctor or a lawyer needed to contact their mentor, instead of just having a phone conversation, they can pretty much jump into VR, and it's that hands-on training across the world. And just from an educational aspect and a co-working aspect, it's easier to arrange meetings without, hey, you don't have to leave your home. We just want to do a quick presentation real quick. And it's a lot more fun to do it than basically doing it on a Zoom call, even though it's kind of similar. But I like the VR, the immersive capabilities.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to wear pants. You know what? I am going to keep saying that, Ali. Okay. Let's go to Kubrick VR.
Comfort of your own home.
Yeah, I can definitely see this being used in psychotherapy office visits by psychologists and psychiatrists. You know, to help people, let's say, like, for example, exposure therapy. You know, if someone's scared of a certain phobia, I guess they could, under guidance of a psychologist, this kind of tool would be helpful. You know.
Absolutely. And there are already apps that you can go to with VR to overcome your phobias. Spiders, heights, stage fright. It's amazing. Norway Dylan.
I think the only issue with VR is that as a doctor or medical professional, you have a lot of liability, but there was a TV show with Lisa Kudrow from Friends called Web Therapy. And I have a friend who's a psychologist in New York, and she's doing it over the phone. So that's inevitable. But I think, this is the future because healthcare is too expensive and they need to bring the cost down. And I don't see why they just can't have patients mail in their blood samples and then the doctors could, talk to them via VR over the phone. But it would be scary for doctors because it would bring the price of healthcare down, which is great for the government and the whole, but it's not good for the nurses and doctors.
All right, thank you so much. Then we have Pete. Welcome to Oh My Brain. Feel free to speak or pass.
Just waiting for you to accept. Pete.
All right. We'll move to the next person. Triggered. Triggered is next.
Yeah, I'm on the same page with Kubrick. I think in the fields of psychology and psychiatry, it will be very interesting in the future. And a friend of mine, a psychiatrist, did some experiments with phobia treatments with, mixed success, let me put it this way. But I'm also, even though I think in the biggest part it will have positive effects, I think there also might arise some new medical issues and maybe some new diseases with some disorders. So that has not played out. I think there need to be millions of people in VR to see effects of that if there are some new things arise that we don't know about yet.
Perfect. Thank you, Triggered. Before we continue to Dr. Sam, I just wanted to welcome a very popular world builder in Altspace, Darren. Always good to see you. Welcome to the Dilemma Lounge. I'm sure you've seen many of Darren's wonderful worlds that he's built over the years. And I would like to know if you would like to answer the question. And the question is, how do you think VR will shape the world when it comes to the medical sector?
Oh, the medical sector.
Yes.
Yeah, it will. I agree with it. What everybody has already said before. That it's going to help people with phobias. It will help people with talking up the problems. And I have to agree, since it's pointed towards that focus, that seems like the right answer, and the right people are giving the right answers here.
Awesome.
So yeah, I agree with what everybody was saying.
Great,
I
thank
can't
you.
say much more than that. Thank you.
Perfect. Let's go to Dr. Sam. Thanks, Darren.
You're welcome.
Timon, I think everybody's mentioned it. Psychotherapy, particularly phobias, fear of heights, snakes, spiders. It does seem to work there. Surgical procedures. Jake and Elmo mentioned that. Now, if you combine that with artificial intelligence, it starts guiding the surgeon not to make a mistake, which is another great advancement for medical. And of course, in education, anatomy, particularly for students who want to do dissection of the human body or animals, it saves us killing animals, and we can do it in VR. Humans, usually we do it on dead people, so not much of an issue, but it's very expensive to do it on a human. So education. So that's it from me.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
All right, let's go to
Super.
Horst.
Yeah, so I think for me everything is set, except that I don't think that it's going to improve the cost, because I think the most valuable thing for treatment is the time of doctors. So I'm not on that page, but I see great benefits in mental health.
Excellent, thank you. It seems popular, mental health, for VR. All right, let's go to Anas.
Well, to answer your question, Matty, as a newly graduated doctor, I can say that it will help in a tremendous way in training. Like, for example, this year, because of the coronavirus crisis, our university, where I did my last year of med school, had to stop the hospitals from working, and we had to basically like do practice but online, which is not suitable. But with the help of VR, this kind of issues could be gone forever, and the medical students could get unlimited hours of training per demand.
Thank you, Anas. It's great to have two doctors in the house, and if you are a doctor, you may brag, shout it out, let us know, because we really do appreciate having the experts in the same room. And then finally, let's go to Toby Banneroo.
That's all right, I'll pass, because I think everyone's more or less said everything that needs to be said, really.
All right.
So
Well,
I'll pass.
you can move to the other side of the couch, Toby, because this might happen a couple of times.
Yeah.
But
all right, yeah, I'll do that.
Imagine my position. Okay, so I'm going to give you my thoughts on medical, and that is, everyone's pretty much summed it up, but I like doing it like systematical. So the way I see it with medical is that doctors, students, and patients are going to be able to benefit from the uses of VR when it comes to medical and healthcare. So, for example, as mentioned, the surgery and procedures where doctors will navigate inside the human body to operate. They'll search for polyps. They will search for tumors. They'll remove and replace organs. They'll open valves, They'll fight the fat. All right. Then there's therapy and rehabilitation, as most people spoke about, and that is to provide a safe 3D world for medical therapies. So PTSD, suicide, smoking, drinking, anxiety, pain and stress management, depression, fears, and even neuro recovery. Then there's physical rehabilitation, where this will bring a new line of therapy where a patient will be able to visualize and retrain hand-to-eye coordination. So they'll be able to rebuild brain functions, regain control of limbs that have been paralyzed, the possibilities are endless. Then obviously there's training. you know, like being in a room like this, for lecturers and doctors to train their students and other doctors via interactive workshops, seminars, and procedures. And finally, consultations. So I'm sure a lot of doctors would like to consult with their patients globally and also locally, but so that they're not physically in the contact. Because now with this new strain of COVID-19, it seems like it's, I don't know, I'm just throwing it out there, but it seems like it's very dangerous from what just from personal experiences and what I've heard. So when the patient contracts any contagious virus or disease, then the doctors won't get it, for example. So those are my thoughts on the medical. Now we can move to the second way. VR is going to shape the world. And let's do this.
I would just want to ask if, for those around, could you just take a seat on the couch, please?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Or else Ellie will kick you out. She does not waste time. Ellie kicks out and I ban people from Altspace. I love it. Okay. So the second part for today is, how will VR shape the world in tourism? And let's start off with the brave. Not that brave. Okay, let's go to Mark. Okay. Ali's gone. All right, so let me help you there, Mark. Everyone's disappearing. Mark. Wow, there's so many pages I need to go through. Marky Babes. That is what's all yours.
Hi there, can you hear me now?
Yes. I was talking to
Fantastic.
a ghost.
Yes, so tourism.
Yes, tourism.
Fantastic. I mean, so in my experience so far with VR, I have been to Venice, I have been to New York City. I'm based in the UK. It is absolutely fabulous to go to all these places. When I've got a travel ban, unable to move because of the current quarantine. So, now I actually have a thirst for travel to places that perhaps I wouldn't have gone to before because of that sense of VR.
Awesome. Yes. Thank you. Hello there, Diddy Scott. Oh yeah, let's go to Kimberly. Diddy Scott, if you would like to answer the question, as you can see behind me, you can just raise your hand and we'll get right back to you, because we are going around the couches. Kimberly.
Yes. Hi.
Hi.
I just came in. I really don't know what we're talking about too much.
Sure. So basically, I just present a question. So you're at an event called Oh My Brain, and the topic is, how will VR shape the world? And we're going through different ways. And basically, the question is, how will VR shape the world when it comes to tourism? And then we're just hearing everyone's opinions, whether they have, like one line or a sentence or some ideas or experiences. And that's it. It's just a discussion event. Very welcome to you. Hello. You're dressed very nicely.
Okay. Thank you. Well, I actually have never traveled, and since I've gotten the VR, I've been able to see parts of the world that I would have never imagined I would see. For instance, the pyramids of Giza and the Eiffel Tower in Paris, and seeing the insides and the outsides. It's just amazing. I've never had that opportunity to travel. So with me, I think and others like me, it just gives us an idea of what it would be like. I know it's different from actually being there in person, but still, I mean, it's amazing.
I'll tell you something, Kimberly. Once you've traveled the world and you've been everywhere, you're going to say, now what's next? And you'll start going to places like North Korea or Guyana or Nicaragua that we can't even go to, you know. So I mean, that's even that makes it even more awesome on traveling the world and the ideas. Bobby boy, hello and welcome.
Hey.
Hey. So you have the opportunity to speak or pass on how will VR shape the world when it comes to tourism. Your choice.
I mean, just to echo what Kimberly said. Yeah, you pretty much get to see on different places that you could never see before, and kind of know what to expect prior to going there if you ever wanted to go there. Like go to see places like the Sistine Chapel, and I think it would be cool that one day, like the apps like Wander, you could actually visit those places with other people instead of just do it by yourself. So you could, feel like, it's a social kind of thing. But yeah, that's I think it's going to be pretty cool.
That will be really awesome when you can actually go all around the world in VR, 100%. And can you imagine the level of cardio that we'll be doing while we're in the house? Okay, let's go to IRS Bray 69. Feel free to speak or pass. No? Okay. All right. Let's go to... I don't know if that...
Darren.
I don't know if IRS Bray want to talk. Do you want to talk, IRS Bray? I can't work it out. No? I don't know. Altspace.
It looked like a
sign
no to me as well.
Okay. Well, you can raise your hand if you want to talk. When I see the hands going up and down, it's like, no for me. So it definitely does not look like a yes. Let's go to Darren.
Okay. Sorry about that. Anyways, how will VR shape the world in tourism? I think it's going to open a lot of new avenues for people using the VR system, because you can go to places without worry, without costs. Seeing things that you couldn't see before, scoping out a place that you want to go to before you go there. Google Earth I used to use a lot to find out places to go, and you see things you've never seen before. You can spend hours and days in that easily, because it just opens up a whole new world where you can see so many things. It's just much better to have that opportunity, that rather than spend all the time getting your luggage all set up and planning everything and getting your tickets and all this other stuff, where you just put on a headset and you're instantly there. It cuts through all that stuff, and you're immediately into where you want to see what you want to do. Now there's another app that uses two or three people together. I can't remember what it is, but it only works on the Quest and Quest 2s. Allows people to go together and see things together, which is
Wander.
Really good idea. Wander.
Isn't it Wander?
It is Wander, yes.
Yeah. I use Wander actually once a week. It's unbelievable. I visit the world with that, and I even go revisit the places that I went just to see the streets and to see places that I like.
Yeah, it's absolutely great. So I guess that's all I have to say.
Awesome. Thanks, Darren. Yeah, no, that's awesome.
You're welcome.
Elmo.
Well, I already spoke, but I think it's already affecting the world of tourism, because every week at least I go visit a different place, and using that app that Warren was talking, the Wander app, and you can have a street view of every streets in the world that have been mapped by Google, which is pretty much 80% of the planet, And so I work into like Korea streets. I can go into Switzerland. I can go into Paris and just walk around, and it's unbelievable. And things I really like to do is go and revisit places that I've been for real, and then spend an hour around and say, oh yeah, I saw that, it was amazing. And then you go elsewhere and you're like, oh yeah, so much memories from that place. It's unbelievable.
That's amazing. Thanks, Elmo. And can you imagine how much you're growing your brain, for learning new things and ideas, and, it changes you. Your experiences changes you. All right, let's go to Simon Dave.
Hey, how's it going? So yeah, I sort of feel when it comes to tourism and VR I'm not sure how much it will change it, if I'm honest. I feel like the kind of people that want to travel and that are a part of tourism in the world do that and will do that regardless. I feel like VR helps people that can't or don't want to go out or can't access these places, and obviously it's going to help them get to see that and to experience these things in the world. But I don't think it will change tourism as a whole as it comes to what it is right now. I just think it'll open up in a sense its own version of tourism as opposed to affecting the one that's already there.
All right.
If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get exactly what you're saying. And no, 100%. I'm just going to give you a small story. My 95-year-old grandfather, who's passed away now, I mean, he couldn't even walk. So his days for traveling was over. And I'm sure he gained a lot of years in his life just by joining VR and enjoying Russia, because Russia was his passion. And he got to see Moscow, and he got to see things that he's never seen before because he's never been on a plane. So, just think about the people who are disabled, think about the people that are a little bit misfortunate that can't travel. But on the commercial side of things, wait till they monetize tourism when it comes to VR. I mean, obviously it's going to be a lot more affordable, but it's going to give access to a lot of people. Let's go to Norway, Dylan.
Yeah, I like YouTube VR because you get to see other people's 3D videos, and then Alcove is a nice app because you can go on Safari in Kenya. But I think one thing that VR will do with tourism is that half of tourism is business travel, and now these business people don't have to travel anymore. They can have conferences online. So I think that first class is going to disappear on a lot of planes, and the hotels and Airbnb, they're not going to get as many people as they did before.
Awesome. Thank you, Norway, Dylan. Let's go to Desimono. See, if you're all the way at the back, I might not pick up everybody, but Desimono, hi. Just 1 second.
Are you talking about me?
Oh, no, it's just Desimono. I didn't see Desimono, but you will be next, definitely. I've just got to go through all these pages. Yes, Desimono.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. So, I love the idea of traveling online, and because you get to meet all these different types of people, and you get to see things that you probably couldn't see in real life. But I also prefer traveling in person because you can actually try the other different foods that you've never had. You can see things, do things that you couldn't really experience as fun as online. Like roller coasters, I love roller coasters. Like, you can't really feel the thrill because you still have this subconscious view that you're sitting down, you're in a safe place, but like the thrill of a roller coaster, I mean, it never changes, but whenever it's sitting down, I mean, to me, it's personally not as fun. I'll probably always prefer to travel in person and to see things and do things, but I'll also love to see things and decide if I want to do them online.
Awesome. Thank you. Good point. All right, now let's go to Layla.
Layla.
You have the opportunity to speak or pass. You can stay on the couch. You can just pass. It's okay. All right. Stay comfy,
Kristen.
guys. Kristen.
Sorry, I raised my hand by accident. I agree with, I think, what Simone was saying. I love traveling. It's something I've missed this past year since COVID. It's been a real bummer. It's probably the biggest thing I miss. You experience a lot of different foods, different cultures, different, rides, things like that. And I don't think you can get that in VR. But what I loved, I think Elmo had said it earlier, is like the memories of it. So like going on apps, or even the inability to go, like your 95-year-old grandfather or somebody who may be disabled or doesn't have the financial means, you know, you can do all of that in VR, and I think that's wonderful. So I think it makes it a little bit more accessible to those who can't, but I don't think it'll change it to those who can.
Perfect. Thank
If
you
that
so
makes
much.
sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. We're halfway now, and we have how many?
Crazy Cody.
No, hold on. We got 23 minutes. So
sorry.
At this point, it's my commercial break, Ali.
Go ahead.
All right, we'll be right back with Oh My Brain. Did you know that you can join us at VR Digital Citizens on Facebook? Just kidding. So guys, if you're enjoying this event and you want to join all of our events like the Moral Dilemma, the Social Dilemma, Oh My Brains, Greek Mythology, that's a new one that we've launched, and that's it, yes. Then please join us on our Facebook group called VR Digital Citizens. We also have an Instagram group called VR Digital Citizens, and we have our Oh My Brains Facebook page, and this event is streamed live, so you can go and watch yourself, listen to yourself, go show off to your family about how clever you guys are. Yes, we would love to see you, so join VR Digital Citizens. Commercial breaks over. We are now going back to Eugene. Hello and welcome. You have the opportunity to speak or pass.
Hi guys.
Hey.
Yeah, that was sneaked up on me. So I would agree with the previous guys who were saying, like, if I have an opportunity to travel in real life, I would always choose that option over the traveling over the VR. The reasons for that is that I travel with my motorcycle. I mean, no VR experience will give me that, right? This is, you know, me sitting on a bike and traveling where the hell I want to go. Second thing, I like to be in the nature. Forests, mountains, that kind of experiences, right? So Google Maps most likely won't provide me that experience. So sorry, not sorry, but
yeah,
for those experiences, I would definitely jump on my bike and go there. On the other hand, I totally get then having a lockdown and people sitting at home, not having possibility to even cross the country border. Definitely, we would want to go to the places where you're from, right, or the cities you have been before, just to have another experience, or maybe being like, hey, I always wanted to go such and such place, but I've never been. And yeah, we're really privileged to have this possibility to go, you know, Google Earth, VR, whatever you want, and you know, experience that. So I think VR is a good option, like bang for buck in this sense, right? You know, it's cheap, now it's free, right? Or close to nothing, and you can experience what you have, but to each his own, I guess.
Yeah.
So.
Thanks, Eugene. Good thoughts.
Thank you.
All right.
Super.
Let's go to Katie Liu. Hello and welcome to Oh My Brain.
Sorry, I'm on my wife's headset.
All good.
That's why my voice.
No worries.
I'm new. What's the question?
The
How will
question-
VR shape the world in tourism?
Yes. So you can say one thing, two things, a sentence, an experience.
I just think everything's come VR because I don't think life's ever going to go back to normal. I just think that's what I think.
All right.
Sorry to be grim.
Oh no, it's all good. It's all good.
Sorry.
It's all good. You know, there's
It's an opinion, no
realist,
worries.
optimist, pessimist. There's no right or wrong answer. It's subjective. Kubrick VR.
Definitely.
I think that VR travel can help make your real world travel more efficient. For example, you might not know exactly all the cultural and social norms and etiquette, you know, they're in a certain place. So maybe if you can go beforehand virtually and learn those small, you know, those little nuances that might shock you at first. If you get to know those things beforehand, it'll make your actual visit more pleasant.
Perfect. Thank you.
Right.
Prepares you. All right, let's go to the one and only Dr. Sam.
Timon, I think Kubrick nailed it. Tourism, VR tourism, I mean, tourism is not mutually exclusive. You can tour physically when the opportunity arises, and if the opportunity doesn't arise, you can tour virtually, which is a great opportunity. It also gives you an opportunity, virtual reality, to visit places that under normal circumstances you wouldn't want to visit, which is ideal. I think Mr. Katie Lowe made the point that will we ever return back to normal? And probably not. I think by the time we vaccinate the whole world, will probably be anything up to 10 years, and we will always be at risk of traveling. So I think we would start exercising a lot of caution before we start traveling all over the world. Thank you.
Thank you. Another grim note. Horst.
Yes, so Eugene earlier said that it's not that experience that it could be or that it would be in real life. So it's a funny question because I was working for 4 years now before the pandemic to record sounds in 3D all over the world. So all over the world is in USA and in Europe. And that's just it. These are how forest sounds, how a motorbike sounds, how a motor sounds. And we'll keep you posted on that. So we are working on the improvement of that experience and getting a better immersive sound experience.
Definitely. Yes. Thank you, Horst. Yes, and when 4D comes
Interesting
along,
information.
When 4D comes along with movement, you know, where you're sitting and with wind and a whole bunch of stuff, they're going to be making it more immersive. Like, this isn't the end. It's only getting better. Anas, let's go to Anas.
Yes, in my opinion, I think while it will never replace traditional travel, it might help some people to travel to worlds that don't exist in the reality. Like, I don't know, maybe you've been a kid and you watched a show or something and you wanted to be there with your character. And that is another kind of tourism for me. Or for example, space tourism. Maybe it will never be accessible in our lives. Thanks to virtual reality, we could go there and get like a feel of it. And maybe in the future, it will be like a full dive experience, and the virtual reality technology will get so good that you could have a similar experience to traditional traveling. That's my opinion about it.
That is so good. No one's mentioned space travel. Yes, we'll get to see all the beautiful round planets except Earth, which is flat, as we know. Let's go to Chris 50. A very warm welcome to you.
Thank you. Traveling on VR, my experience is that I feel that this is kind of an emotional stress reliever when I can go and travel with different people in different areas that I would normally be able to do. If I went on a boat, I probably wouldn't talk to half of you guys on a normal day basis. So I feel like being in VR and going to different worlds of people's imagination it's not going to overtake me going to somewhere, you know, physically. I like to ride motorcycles too, by the way, but I like to be in people's imaginations. So I don't feel like I'm trying to travel anywhere in the world right now. I just try to feel like I'm traveling, you know, in a virtual imagination. So that's how I'm taking it. It's like a physical therapy to me. You feel me? So
yeah,
I don't know.
Awesome.
That's how I look at it.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks for your experience. Let's go to Toby Banneroo. We just gotta go.
Toby.
Hello.
Yes.
Excellent.
Hi.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, the only thing I was sort of thinking about with with VR tourism is because I usually go to Mallorca a lot. Well, I used to before the pandemic, and we had a nice little. Me and my family had a nice little cafe we found. The only thing I'd be worried about if this sort of took off in VR is all the other businesses, and obviously when I sat at the VR at the cafe, it's overlooking the sea, and you got that nice ocean breeze and everything, and you're just never going to recreate that in VR. I just don't think. I think it would be good to sort of like scout out places, but that's probably what I'd only use it for. I wouldn't use it to sort of sit down and just go everywhere and explore cathedrals. I'd rather just go there myself and actually take pictures.
You know, but I don't think it'll ever replace truly connecting with people. But it's certainly far better than Facebook stuff and to connecting with people around the world. So it's going to play a fantastic part in our future, I think.
All right, sorry about that.
Definitely some very good points there with online shopping.
Awesome. Ali,
We have just gone to hand raisers, Tim.
and did you mention your part? What did Ali say?
No, not yet. I just wanted to accept more hand raise. I haven't said anything yet.
Oh, okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can we go to what Ali
All
says?
right. I just want to go to 2 more hand raises quickly. 1 second.
Okay.
Dr. Sam?
I liked what Joe said. I mean, it was great, but Anas stimulated my mind. We can visit places that are inaccessible. For example, one can go into the human body and visit the human body. One can go and visit planets outside of this world that have been simulated. So, and that's the greatest opportunity of VR tourism, because I think the point is you can never substitute VR for the actual experience of being at a place, the excitement of getting there, etc. But those worlds that are out of our realm to visit, that's where tourism is going to blossom. And I think that's how it's going to be monetized.
Yes.
But companies that can produce the most fascinating worlds, people will want to go there in a VR immersive experience. Thank you, Ali and Timon.
Thank you.
Great
Thank you, Dr. Sam. IRS, I've given you the mic. Let's just test again, see if we can hear you. Try again.
Hello?
Hi and welcome. Yes.
Can you hear me?
Hi. Yeah, we can
Yes,
hear
we
you.
can hear you.
Hello? Okay. Okay. Where should I start off? YouTube. There's these videos on the YouTube you can go to, 360, like alien stuff. It's like a 360 camera, or it's like a camera all around, where you can see like you just look around and you can see everything in like a room. And like this app, you can make your own world like this, talk to other people. It's literally just real life, but with a headset,
Awesome.
like glasses,
Thanks, IRS.
virtual glasses.
Super. Thank you very much.
Can
Awesome.
Can we go to Ali Says?
Yes, we can, finally. Basically,
Yeah, I just wanted to make a quick commentary on what Dr. Sam said about travel into human body or different places that are not on Earth. So how is it different from computer games then? There are many computer games which are developed in VR. How is it different then?
Yeah, Dr. Sam will have to raise his hand. I would imagine it's got to do with the immersive experience differences between a computer game and, being in there. Dr. Sam, you know how to raise your hand. Just at the I got to allow hand raisers. My apologies. So there we go.
sorry about that.
Let's go. Ali, continue.
So I was going to say tourism is all about stimulating all the senses. So virtual reality has still got a long way to go to cover stimulating all those senses that we experience during traveling. Also, I think the tourism field can actually grow a lot instead of waiting around getting clients to go on tourism travels, I think they can actually look into virtual reality and their business can move into that direction. Because now with COVID, unfortunately, like many have mentioned, it's going to be very difficult traveling. We're going to use what we got, which is virtual reality. So yeah, that was basically my opinion. And yours?
Really
I don't know
cool.
if you said it while I was gone.
No, I haven't said it. But just so you guys know, why I look at Ali when she's talking is because on VR Digital Citizens Facebook group, I do compile little videos where Ali talks so that you can get to know more or less what the event is about. So when it comes to tourism, I mean, everyone's mentioned it. The last guy, IRS, mentioned the 360-degree videos that you're able to explore, you know, hotels and countries and attractions without moving from your couch. There's virtual tours that you may have an agent or robo-advisor taking you on a tour of any tourist location you'd like to go. So it could be I think someone before Dr. Sam said this, that it could be the preparation for your tourism. So an agent meets you and say, which hotel would you like to go to? Let me show you around. And then you can choose the the Airbnbs and the houses and the hotels that you could go to. Also planning, no one's mentioned, because monetization is very important with tourism. It's not just about your entertainment, but it's also about the planning. You might be able to customize your agenda, organize your travel schedules in VR, have Paris available and say, day one, you're going to go to the Louvre, the Arc de Triomphe, the Champs-Élysées, all of that, And then finally, as Chris 50 said, is that it's an escapism. So if the tourist destination is too expensive or you don't have time to travel, it'll give you an opportunity to go where you want with your friends and family without leaving your house. Right. So those are my thoughts. We have 2 minutes left. And guys, it's been a real pleasure that you've stayed with us. You've spent your time here at the Oh My Brain discussion. It was absolutely awesome. I actually had 5 ways that we were going to talk about, but we only got through what is virtual reality, how is VR going to shape the world with medical and now tourism. So we're probably going to have 6 parts to this, Ali. It depends on, next time on how many ideas people come up with. But we're going to continue. We are going to continue this. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And you know what? The discussion does not have to end. I'm going to untoggle mute all. Thank you for being a wonderful co-host, Ali, and for everybody here, being so wonderful and the diverse group of people. And I'm going to leave, but just because I'm leaving doesn't mean you have to. You can stick around, discuss, talk, and if you want a real Greek experience, like you guys said, you want an immersive experience, on the top right-hand corner, there is something called the Greek Taverna, and it is awesome. You can go to the Parthenon, you can go to the restaurant. It's very Greek. It's on the right in the portal, and you guys will love it. But anyway, I'm going to have to go.
Speaking of tourism, we can check out Greece.
For free. Enjoy it. Yes, maybe Ali, if you want to go and show them where the Greek Taverna is. And that's it. So we'll see you guys next week or tomorrow for the moral dilemma. Monday for the social dilemma. Sunday for Greek mythology. It's awesome. Thanks for being here, guys. Have an awesome
Thank you all. It was wonderful.